Hi everybody, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. Today we are ready to do a 360 reading for the following moon quarter that starts today, 4th of March. And it's going to be valuable, this information is going to be more valuable until the next Sunday, which will be the 10th of March, right? So thank you for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope this is useful for you, and leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy, and if you want a personal reading for yourself or other type of astrology, tarot, or just personal consultation services, use the links down below to find more about my services and find ways to contact me as well. So, let's get started. Let's explain the reading to people that are not yet aware of the reading. So you have the 12 houses, the 12 astrological houses, and they all represent unique, specific parts of your life and of your unconscious, subconscious, and conscious awareness. But everything comes from the spirit. Everything comes from the creator, and you are the creator, you are the observer, you are not the creation. So when we do these readings, like you have a spirit and you created a body, like you have a spirit and have spirits living inside of you, we also live inside of a bigger spirit. It's always spaces within spaces, right? So when we do these general readings, I'm reading firstly the spirit of the being that we live in right now, because it will influence us, everybody, but you and I can be influenced in different percentages, and then we can react and respond to those influences in different ways, right? So the first card will go there to the middle of that wheel over there. It will be the main theme. It will be the main vibe, the main frequency. And then throughout the 12 houses, it will be the physical, mental, emotional manifestations and materializations of that main vibe. You know what I'm saying? So let's get started by taking a card for the middle and see what is the main tide, the main vibe, and how to surf it, or how to go, or not to get drowned under it, right? So let's go real quick from this moon quarter until the next Sunday. Here we go, here we go. Taking that cord out. There we go. And the card that we have is the reversed Fool, reversed Uranus. Now the Fool, it's not a bad thing, alright? Because the Fool can learn anything. The Fool is actually the starting point of the genius, because only fools get in their journey to become a genius. Only fools ask fools questions, which many times is the best question, because nobody else is asking that. Everybody else is too afraid or too shy or too embarrassed to ask those questions. So the Fool is basically the start of the journey, and if you can see clearly on the screen, it has a number 0, and then you can probably see because it's in reverse, but it has Uranus on it. And Uranus is the planet, the energy, the influence of uniqueness, individuality, change, rebellion, and innovation. And what this means that everybody else, every spirit in this plane of existence is starting a new journey, or you might not want that, you might be stuck in something old, so instead of starting the new journey right away, you can spend a lot of time rebelling against the old stuff, or rebelling against the process of change. But you gotta remember that the only thing constant in the universe is change, and throughout this moon quarter, throughout this week, it's gonna be more obvious, and it's gonna be more in your face than ever. So this is going to be a very conscious thing that you can't avoid, You can't look the other way. You, the world, your family, your friends, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, everything is going to change in a faster rhythm or in areas where they weren't changing before. But it's in reverse. So that means that you and others might misunderstand the change or the process or the results of said change. So you can even misunderstand yourself. You might be like, bro, why am I feeling like this? Why am I thinking about this? Why am I not enjoying things I was enjoying before? Why am I hating on things I was agreeing with before? Because you are in a more fast and obvious process of change. So you might be rebelling against things that you were comfortable in, but they were not profitable to you in the past. You know what I'm saying? So accept the process of change and make sure to use it in the best way possible to yourself. So let's see how this affects our first houses. The house of your personality, personal interests, and personal insecurities, and the more personal relationships that really care and connect with personal interests, insecurities, and your uniqueness and individuality. All right? So let's go take that card. There we go. And it is Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune. All right. So this means that you are expanding on your personal interests or through your personal interests, but also you can be expanding your personal insecurities. And the Wheel of Fortune means exactly that. There is a fortune. There is a prize. There is a reward, right? But you gotta spin the wheel, basically, right? You gotta have your own will. You gotta be in that space. You gotta be in your personal interests. You gotta be in your personal insecurities. You gotta be in more personal relationships. Otherwise, you can't expand. Otherwise, you can't access to that wheel of fortune. But this comes from the card in the middle, because everybody else is changing. Everybody else is looking for more uniqueness and more individuality. So you, through your personal interests, personal insecurities, and personal relationships, might find that treasure or be found a treasure. Somebody else can see you as a treasure. Somebody else can see you as the means or the example of expansion, uniqueness, individuality, and changing for the better. Let's move to the second house, house of values. Oh, my bad. Some cards falling on the floor, so it means some scatteredness in the second house, which makes sense, because it's a house of more stability, right? And more of consistency, and you might be changing so much that the things that you found valuable or the things that you were being valued by might change. You might not value something, or others might not value anymore because of that thing, because everybody is changing. But let's see what it is. House of values, the second house, how you value others, how others value you, and how you think others value you, right? Let's see what card we have today for the second house, ruled by Taurus, by the moon, by Venus as well, and always has that Saturn relationship because of the structure, because of the business, and we have the Five of Swords for that house. So what does that mean? Five of Swords in the second house? It means that you are connecting more emotionally with conversations, relationships, or partnerships in that area of your life, or you're talking about or valuing more conversations and relationships that you can show more your emotional value, or you can show more emotionally your value. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about connecting the emotions and feelings, or connecting through emotions and feelings, and then finding value or be valuable to somebody or to some business by communicating, thinking, and analyzing in a more sophisticated, emotionally caring, and feminine way. All right, so let's move to the third house, House of your physical surroundings, familiar stuff, familiar people, places, and things, but are not really like deep relationships. People from your surroundings, your environment, your neighbors, people from the supermarket, past teachers, past friends that you still talk to, but they're not really a part of your life, they're not really a part of your business, they're not really a part of your family or soul group, you know what I'm saying? But they also take a part in your life. Some people actually allow the third house to dictate their visions or how they feel about themselves. Don't do that, don't do that. You make your mind, all right? So let's see what card do we have in that area of your life. Let's check. There we go. And it's the reversed Princess of Pentacles, also known as Spring. All right? So what does that mean? So that means that we are, regarding our environment, regarding our surroundings, creating a new internal way to process and be more realistic, have more limits and boundaries, have more consistency, responsibility, having more... hold on, guys. I don't know if you can see what's happening here on the screen. Bruh. Because it's in reverse. Oh, okay. I know what's going on. It's just... Okay. I don't know what this is happening, but... Alright. I'll just do it real quick. So this means... Hold on. Got me distracted. This means that we are formulating or reacting and responding to a new internal way to deal with the reality, the limits, the boundaries, the responsibility, and the profitability, the profit of you being in your surroundings and what the surroundings can offer you. So you are processing a more realistic connection or a more present connection between you and your surroundings, or you just being more realistic, you just being more assertive that you want to receive something more from your surroundings, or you are just limiting yourself and your internal realm from the surroundings, but it's still a new part of it, okay? You're still creating this, or you are, maybe you were already doing it, but you were not aware of it, all right? So you might be aware of it for the first time or the second time, and you're becoming more aware of it, becoming more aware of new realities in your surroundings, or you just apply, or somebody else might be applying limits and boundaries to you that was a part of your surroundings, all right? So let's move on to the fourth house. Ooh, a lot of scatteredness as well in the fourth house. I see why. Because that change, that uniqueness and individuality might make things complicated, because somebody might be a part of your fourth house, somebody might be in your fourth house, which is private surroundings, deep surroundings, families, soul group, romantic relationships, but you might be changing, they might be changing, they might be more unique and individual, you might be more unique and individual, and the relationship dynamic is changing. You might be trying to rebel and change and be a bit more assertive, but you might think that's not the right thing to do, or you might feel weird about doing it because you and people in those spaces want more comfort, want more stability, want more kindness and cuteness. But it's time for change, it's time for rebelliousness, it's time for uniqueness, time for individuality as well, right? So let's go, the fourth house coming through. There we go. And it's the Six of Swords. A lot of air energy coming in right now in this current moon quarter. The Six of Swords means that you are, or you should, bring more power, control, attention, and authority to your own mind, to your own thoughts, to your own ideas, to your own way of thinking, communicating, and analyzing. And don't allow people in your fourth house to bring their authority, to bring their control to your own mind, but also don't bring your authority and don't bring your own control and power to your relationships and people that you share deep emotional spaces with. Okay? Keep your authority to your mind and also don't allow others to bring their authority to your mind, and you should be alright. Let's move to the 5th house. House of attention, pleasure, and entertainment. What you like to pay attention to, what others like to pay attention to you for, what you like to be entertained by, and the things that you like to entertain. And in that house we have the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles means that you are, or you should, or you will be separating from old physical, realistic, structural scenarios so you can be inspired and enter in new physical circumstances, limits and boundaries, responsibilities that deal with entertainment, attention, or being seen in a different light. So it's all about change here as well, going from old patterns to new patterns, old limits to new limits. Let's move to the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of routine, pattern, organization, health, and work as well. Let's see how Uranus in reversed, the Fool, the number 0, is influencing our 6th house. And we have Leo, strength. Alright? So that means that we and everybody else is paying more attention and casting their own light, casting their own vision to your routine, to your pattern, to your organization. So that means that you have to be stronger, aka strength, and you have to create your own light. You have to cast your own spotlight to yourself. So you gotta be more confident, a bit more prideful, and you gotta create your own image and say things about your routine and pattern to fulfill others' perspective and others' minds about it. Because if you don't do so, if you don't show anything, others will fulfill those spaces. Others will create stories about your routine and pattern and work and whatnot. So you gotta do that. You gotta be prideful, you gotta be confident, you gotta believe in yourself, and not only do those things, but show others through actions and expressions that you do this, you do this routine, you do that pattern, you do that organization, and you enjoy it, you don't enjoy it because of this or because of that. And if others want to clash to you, you don't necessarily need to clash with them, but you gotta protect it. You gotta create a light around your routine and pattern so others can see it instead of bringing their own light to that space. You know what I'm saying? Let's move to the 7th house. House of creating relationships or creating new relationship dynamics. It can be literally creating new relationships, but also can be in the same relationship creating a new relationship dynamics, creating new subjects to talk about, new ways to be more sophisticated, new ways to communicate within the same relationship. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what's coming out of it. Hold on. 7th house, balancing that 1st house, right? Being a bit more relatable, being a bit more open and superficial about your 1st house. But still, you should choose relationships that care about your 1st house, that care about your personality, personal interests, and personal insecurities. And on the 7th house, we have Pluto, aka judgment. And that means that how you are judging yourself and how your relationships are judging you and themselves is transforming, changing in a big scale. So you might be transforming yourself to the point that others that were relating to you and they were a part of a relationship, they can't do it in the same way. They can't do it anymore. They can't literally do it anymore, and you have to separate, or you just need to change. You need to transform the relationship as well. So it's going to be some deep internal transformation, right? You're going to change how you judge yourself, how you change or how you judge the world, how you judge your values, other values, how you judge past moments that you went with these people. You might be judging how you judge relationships in general, so you want new types of relationships. So it's going to be very deep transformation, right? And you should then change yourself and your relationships or the dynamics in it to accordingly fit the new judgment, the new transformed you. All right, let's go to the 8th house, house of deep relationships, deep experiences, deep desires, and deep passions, motivations, angers, and frustrations. Let's take a card for that and see how we're going in that area of our lives through this moon quarter. There we go. We have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles means that we want, in that area, in deep relationships, deep desires, we want more realistic, more practical, and more profitable conversations, relationships, or exchange of informations or values. So, and we want to be more clear. We want to show the facts. We want to make sense and know why it happened, not just know what happened. Also, very clearly, we want to know what happened very clearly with all the details and all the facts, but why it happened, why you thought this could be this, and why you thought it could be leading there. You know what I'm saying? All the details and all the facts. Let's move to the 9th house, house of wisdom, expansion, and sharing your faith, belief, imagination, and the testimonies from your deep relationships and deep experiences. Let's go. And we have reversed 9 of Wands, Draco. And it is actually a powerful card in that house. It's always good because this is, first it's the 9th house and it's fire, and one symbolizes fire as well. It's the number 9 as well, so they are synergetic. They relate very well with each other, but it's in reverse. So there is the opportunity, there is the event which you can elevate yourself or your ability to spread and share your beliefs, your imaginations, your faith, right? But you might be misunderstanding what to share or how to share or whom to share, and you might be elevating God instead of elevating you. You might be elevating the people that you are sharing to instead of elevating you. You might be elevating your ego instead of elevating the ability to share spirituality and real helpful things to people in this day and age. But if you being yourself, right? If you are in the way of all possibilities, and if you are changing accordingly to that card in the middle, looking for more uniqueness, more individuality, looking for a new start to grandiose things in your life, you'll correct this misunderstanding, or you might just not be a part of it, and you might be the one correcting everybody else's misunderstanding on how to elevate by sharing testimonies, dreams, illusions, imaginations, creativity, and spiritual belief systems. Let's move to the 10th house, house of creating new routines, creating new patterns, creating new status, and new profitable, stable networks. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how is that doing? How is that affecting or being affected by that card in the middle? You know what I'm saying? And we have Capricorn, the devil. So it's at home. So it might means you, on the positive side, you ain't creating no businesses, you ain't creating no real connections without looking at the details, without being sure, without confirming certain things, but also this can block you. You might be too much looking at the details. You might be too slow, too lagging behind because you want to check behind or below every rock, and then you might be allowing certain factors perturb your decisions that didn't even need to be there. certain details don't really matter because you might be forming a team for a business. You might be forming a team to play football, right? And the certain details matter for one thing, but they don't matter for the other thing. And you might be allowing certain factors for certain details from one area perturbing your judgment in other area where they are not necessary. All right? Let's move to the 11th house, house of worldwide associations, worldwide discussions, worldwide topics like astrology, science, politics, economics. Oh, big scatteredness. Big scatteredness. Let's see what's going on for real in here. You can be scattered, or your worldwide associations can be scattered. Not having a point or not being able to go to the point. Getting lost while trying to reach the point. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What card do we have here? What card do we have here? What is it? Where is it, bro? What is it? Let's check it out. Check it out. Come on. There we go. Reversed 7 of Cups. Reverse 7 of Cups. So that means that you or people in this area of your life are separating from old emotional states, old relationships, old connections, old dreams, old illusions, old places of comfort to get inspired and go into new emotional spaces, emotional connections, new dreams and new illusions. But you and others are misunderstanding, misjudging, or misusing the process of changes, or you're just going from one fart cloud to another fart cloud. You're separating from an old illusion to go into a new illusion while sharing it on social media or about astrology, about science, right? It might be a new theory that was wrong, and now there is a new theory proving an old theory wrong, but that new theory is also wrong, for an example. You know what I'm saying? Or they're missing the point. There is the good point there, but they're not going to the point, they're going around it. So they reach a wrong conclusion, for an example, right? So this you have to apply to an emotional level, right? You have to apply to a spiritual level, to an internal, subconscious, more feminine level, all right? Let's go to lastly but not least, the 12th house. House of big dreams, illusions, imaginations, spirituality in general, and a house where you can see all the other houses through that one lens. Okay, so it can be confusing, but it can be very gifting as well. And we have reversed Cardinal Fire, reversed King of Wands. And that means that you have the opportunity, you have the power to be a great example in how to lead in the spiritual realm or in the spiritual community or about deep stuff, about mental illnesses, about the evil in the world, for an example, or the greater good in the world, right? You have the power to lead by creating your own visions, creating your own feelings, creating your own conclusions, and then expressing it. Showing yourself, showing your light, showing your actions, but you or others might be misunderstanding, misusing, or misjudging the leadership, the new creations, the new lights, or others might be like, oh, you're doing this because you want attention, and you be like, nah, I'm just being myself, and I'm showing you with this unique vision, with this unique action, I'm showing you something in a subconscious realm. I'm showing you that you can do it as well. I don't want you to worship me. I want you to look at me and be like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it too, but on my own way. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be everything for today. If you have any question, drop a comment down below. If you want a personal reading like this for yourself, ask me through the email or IG in the description down below. And I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe, and I see you on the next time as a Cloud Surfer, surfing out.